No, wait!
Oh! This is extra funny because I was even just saying, hey, we shouldn't ask so many questions, but he actually killed me over it. Still gonna ask.
Cave I came out of? What was that place?
There lies the gate between this world and ours. It is closed, but it shall open once more in 100 of your years. 203. Soon. Now speak. Don't ask, or I will kill you.
Okay, I won't. But I have to ask you to find Dettlaff. That's a question.
Hear about Dettlaff.
I know who he is. What of him?
He's sicked a swarm of lesser vampires on the city. I have to stop him.
But I do not.
Appeal to Dettlaff making him look bad. He's making all vampires look bad. Poor Regis in the back. Is he struggling against it? I wonder how the nature of the spell is, because is it more that it makes him still, but he's fighting against it and that's why he's shaking? Or is it more that he wants to sit down, but he's being forced to be upright, and basically his limbs are dying right now and he's super numb?
Sooner or later, Dettlaff will bring trouble. Serious trouble.
How?
As Kagmar brought trouble before. Folk will take him down, eventually. Might need a year, or two, or a decade, but they'll find a way. And then they'll go after other vampires. And eventually, they'll find you.
And I should fear
death? No. But that'll be the end of your peace, your quiet. Knights errant, mages, they'll come here day in, day out. One already managed to teleport here. Others will follow, you can be sure. You'll kill them, naturally. So they'll flood these caves, or collapse them with explosives, destroying the gate you guard beyond repair.
No. This place must be secure. The gate.
Great speech, Geralt. You alright, buddy?
What is your plan?
If we can keep him, that would be... But then Anna Henrietta will be mad again. Well, we can try to convince Dettlaff, but it's not just something I decide. He might come here and still want to kill me.
Dettlaff. We have to convince him to spare the city.
Will he?
Probably not. Yet we must try nonetheless.
If there is a fight, if you help kill him,
I will be anathema. This I know. And still I ask you to summon Dettlaff.
Where?
Teshem Mudna.
Go. Once I sent you there, I will summon Dettlaff.
I thank you.
Leave me.
What's with his back? Are those like... It's triggering my trypophobia a little bit. Is it like vampiric bite marks? But who would dare bite the elder?
That went better than I expected it would.
Well, I died once, and I nearly died once, and I fainted, and then I actually died once. So, as far as it goes, that was pretty okay.
Think that went better than... You kidding? I'd have been dead on the spot if not for my slowed metabolism.
And yet you survived, though you are risking your life. The question is, why? This contract, it goes well beyond what witches customarily handle. I cannot abandon the matter, for Dettlaff and I are bound by blood, but you could simply walk away.
So why, my friend? Why stay and risk your hide?
People are complicated.
Been on the path so long, I don't really know anymore. Guess I'm looking for the road's end.
Perhaps you should simply step off it.
I'll think about it, once this is over. All your unseen that... welcoming.
No, they vary. Some are conceited, others imperious, but most can be reasoned with. But him... It was clear each word was a great effort. Interacting with others, it seems, it causes him physical pain.
Never entered my mind that the conjunction of the spheres was also a cataclysm for you, for...
Monsters? No euphemism required, you needn't seek one. I dare say it was worse for us. You arrived by the thousands, we were but a handful. Not much choice, assimilate with you, or shut ourselves off from the world, like him.
Yeah, for social creatures, this feeling of belonging is something that's necessary.
Cave I was tossed into. That where the gate between worlds is?
In a sense, yes. Just slammed shut, sealed tight.
Think it'll ever open again? Think you'll be able to go home?
I sincerely doubt it. And I think, in truth, the Elder knows that as well.
So why would he stay down there? What's the real reason?
To stay with the gate analogy, no door is ever completely impermeable. Smells come through, for instance. And when the wind rises, some dust might be blown through the cracks. A palpable trace of things on the other side. It's not much, but it is something.
Oh wow, that's quite tragic, because that makes the unseen elder sound really dang homesick. Now I kind of feel bad for him. Do you want to go home?
And you? How do you feel now, where you are?
Geralt, imagine the least comfortable situation you could ever find yourself in. What would it be?
I don't mean a moment of pain with death knocking at your door, just a circumstance of great unease.
All right. In that case, a court banquet. Gotta show up in hose and a tight doublet. Gotta smile at everyone and engage in vacuous conversation, while Dandelion sings a ballad about me and Yennefer for all to hear.
Very well. Now imagine you're stuck there. Not for an hour, not for an evening, but for all time.
Oh.
And should you fall out of character for but a moment, should you so much as scratch yourself where the stitching chafes, all around you will scream, "Monster, monster!" and they'll turn on you and tear you to shreds.
Sounds... tiring. Damn tiring.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Not life-threatening, but just not nice.
Time to summon Dettlaff.
Yes, high time. Do you wish to go to Tesha Mutna right away?
Let's go. Want to get this over with.
You didn't give me a choice. I actually wanted to take off the mask just now, because I realized the set works as long as you have 3 things, right? And the mask sometimes conceals the facial movements, which I would like to see from Geralt, but seeing as how we're in Tesha Mutna again, I think we can understand how this will play out. But this time, we don't have Siana. Oh, lovely, thank you! You took it off from- oh.
Nice place.
Isn't it? Offers a lovely view of the valley. On a clear day, you can see the outlines of Duntine.
Shame the reason why we came here.
Yes, quite the shame.
You angry with me? For not freeing Siana? For not trying to resolve this peacefully?
A bit. Though, perhaps I was fooling myself, latching on to the notion because I badly wished to believe there was some way to fix everything. However, matters have simply gone too far. I must come to terms with that.
So Siana's not here right now, but we have to remember that she's still alive. She's in the tower right now, locked up.
Regis, let the unseen elder know we've arrived. Have him summon Dettlaff.
Hinthial Jesu Themias.
If him talking to people caused him physical pain, then I really appreciate that he took the time to talk to us. He actually was fairly reasonable for someone so powerful. Even she can feel it. Everybody can.
You didn't manage to find me, so you forced a meeting. Why?
You know why.
I've tired of guessing your human thoughts. So articulate them or leave me be.
I understand your anger, but you need to stop the attacks in the city immediately.
My conditions are clear. I wish to see I wish to see Siana. Yet she is not here.
You know why. The Duchess would not release her.
So the Duchess must face the consequences.
Dettlaff, please. All this for one woman.
You understand nothing. Let us be done with this.
It's a little bit ironic because at this point, Dettlaff hadn't received the letter, the 5th letter of who to kill. But if he had, then he would have realized that if he goes and kills the Duchess, it would be the same as following the orders of the woman who betrayed him. Alright, we're doing this again. Let's go, let's go! I took off the mask while I had the chance. It seems like this piece of armor really puts in work because I didn't get one shot by the bat attack this time.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist. I'm sorry.
Poor Regis.
Siana planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a fifth victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Siana's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
No, I think it's alright.
Wine vapors in the air must have gone to your head, Regis. It's over. Dettlaff's dead. Won't be any more murders.
You're entitled to your opinion. I, however, will check this. Should you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Okay. Curious, though. Here. Would we still be able to talk to Siana? Maybe not. I mean, we don't even know anything about her, so... We've never talked to her, she doesn't know me, she wouldn't get persuaded even if I did talk to her.
I cannot hold my tools.
Up until this point, consequentially, it's actually the same as my original ending. Dettlaff is dead, Siana's still alive, but of course there is the one very big difference here in that we haven't talked to Siana before, and she should still be bearing that hatred for her sister and pretty much the whole world, because no one's tried to make her see otherwise. If we think about it in terms of the actual contract that we were supposed to take on in Toussaint, we did a great job. We killed the beast of Beauclair and left the sister alone. So Anna Henrietta should be thrilled with me. Siana's hatred is gonna manifest some way though, so I really wouldn't be surprised if she tried to kill Anna Henrietta. How? She doesn't have Dettlaff, but it doesn't mean she can't try to kill people.
My heart's about to burst from a surfeit of beauty.
Here.
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Your face doesn't look good. What the hell happened?
The city was attacked. Surely you don't imagine I could stand and watch it all from some ivory tower.
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the Duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout.
Excuse me?
Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits.
Nothing to discuss because I don't know anything.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May the symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Yes, very. Heard a lot of good things about that appellation. Thanks again.
Cheers.
Thought it was gonna be sarcastic. You can't tell with Geralt.
In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly, but she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
Henrietta is put in a really tough spot here. Family. What else could be more important than that? But yet, as the head of state, for her, it can't be the most important thing.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
Nah. Since we hadn't met Siana here before, maybe we're a bit antagonistic towards her because she caused everything, she caused Dettlaff to die, and we think she's an evil witch.
I'm not a prisoner, free to do as I choose.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Oh, you don't get the option to go lightly on her because you don't know anything about her.
No matter the mitigating circumstances, whatever they may be, Siana is a criminal and should be tried as such. And punished as such. Her guilt is clear.
Your words sadden me greatly, Witcher. But I cannot deny their logic. Siana, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
Henrietta is not irrational. She does understand that she has to punish her. It's just... it's difficult.
I shall never forgive you.
Oh my god. Oh... Yeah, if Henrietta dies, there's no way that Siana would get to live. But now what's gonna happen to Toussaint? Regis didn't make it here in time. Cause he was gonna go investigate too, but... Tragic. The duchy mourns.
Need some flowers, a wreath, or...
I've none. Sold everything. I was just on my way out. No sense hanging about with nothing to do. Should come as no shock, sir. Had the funeral, folk took it all. Men, women, children, all wished to lay a bouquet on the Duchess's grave. Windflowers, peonies, gladioli. But she liked common roses best. I know, her ladies-in-waiting would come here at times. I'd choose the loveliest blooms for her. Fragrant, big petals, the kind that last a long time. I've still not come to terms with it. To be killed by her own sister. How could it happen?
It's very sad, because she loved her. I love how they used a random florist here to depict what's going on in Toussaint. Of all the people, a random florist is someone that you wouldn't think about normally, but during times of a funeral for a beloved Duchess. She's probably seen over half the city, and maybe the only person in the city to profit from this event. Although, judging by how sad she is, she probably gave people discounts, or maybe it's even free.
How? Quickly. Unexpectedly. She was gone before I understood what was happening.
I know you. You're that witcher from the north. The one that saved us from the beast.
Could say that.
Wait here. Take these.
Thought you were out of flowers.
I put a bouquet aside. I was to take it to her myself. But you have it. I know you held the Duchess dear.
How much do I owe you?
Not a copper. Keep your coin and raise a toast in her memory tonight.
Do just that. Farewell.
See? I feel like we should go together. Oh wow, they had this built in 2 weeks. I feel like I never realized how much Toussaint loved Anna Henrietta. But they do. I think it's too sad to say that Anna Henrietta was too trusting as a negative thing. Trusting somebody shouldn't be faulted for that.
Lepiotus visum langs, a real witcher.
Is that made of pure gold?
Is it not evident I'm busy?
Such are the times, my good fellow.
Talking to you guys ruined the atmosphere.
The world these days.
Let's try to light all this for Anna Henrietta. It's the least we could do.
Yes?
Siana, on the other hand, of course, is tried as a criminal and is not going to be mourned. Why can't I light it? I just want to light the thing for the Duchess. Hey, you're the florist right here.
So young. So beautiful.
There we go.
Such are the times, my good fellow.
Fare the unwell.
It's only 2 p.m. right now, but look at how dark the sky is.
Begone from my sight. Have your chit-chat with someone else. Begone from my sight.
Oh my gosh, all I want to do is light that thing. I am really sorry. I am so sorry. All I wanted to do was use Igni to light the thing. I really messed up Anna Henrietta's funeral now. God, that was so disrespectful.
Vampires. Yes?
Good day.
Real life, flesh, filth and blood vampires.
Everyone knows what's happened now. Why is this so difficult?
Is it not evident I'm busy?
Est flows in the veins of Toussaint. My regards. Good to see you.
Oh my gosh, why is this so difficult?
Do monsters
Good health
have
to you.
mamas and papas?
There we go. I want to say that Anna Henrietta, if she was still here, she wouldn't be upset by what I did just now. The whole scaring everybody thing, but I bet she would. Because she was that kind of woman.
I won't go. I simply won't do it.
You play a song of sadness for our Duchess?
Night, laugh, and wine counsel no half-hearted measures.
What are they gonna do about Toussaint though? Who's gonna be the next Duchess or Duke?
Massacre at the estate of Durand de Savarin.
How
Elven
semantic.
statues come to life to slaughter members of the History of Toussaint Friends Society. Citizens, beware of history and elves alike. And stones, hewn or otherwise. A hecatomb at the Doran Alma estate. Ladies, gentlemen, Dupont and
This guy
Sons,
probably regularly
all
gives us
manner of
updates
goods
on
and
our
services,
quests.
cheap, reliable.
He was talking about the one with the elven
Witcher.
statues.
You freed us from
I never knew
Sorry, everybody.
Drove away the beast.
It's been 2 weeks, so the place is starting to get normal again.
To bury the murderous lass in one crypt with the Duchess. It's not decent.
Matter or no, she was the Duchess's sister, shared her blood. She should lie with her kin. That Witcher's rather handsome.
So this is just a general statue. It's not related to Anna Henrietta.
Not good.
Guessing she's buried down here.
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was
Wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one expected Siana to do that, persist to the end. And none of us did anything to stop her. 'Cause there was nothing we could do.
I suppose you are right. But when someone so beloved dies, one cannot help but search one's soul for blame. And even the hardiest knights grow faint-hearted then.
Come to pay my respects. Bid the Duchess farewell.
White roses. They were her favorite. Go inside then. She lies in the ducal crypt. In one room with her murderer. Despite my protests.
What? Who decided that?
The Regent's Council. A pack of old men who've statutes and codices for hearts. Ducal blood flowed in Siana's veins, and she was never legally disinherited. So they ruled she should lie alongside Henrietta.
I honestly think that's what she would have wanted, though. I know she couldn't decide and we can't ask her, but I don't think she would oppose to it. They're all gone already. No use in continuing to hate and holding a grudge.
And all this, what did it bring you? Rest in peace. I regret it ended this way, that I failed to prevent it. Hope you can forgive me. Rest in peace.
Stylish crypt, quite subdued. Yes, this is the kind of eternal resting place I dream of.
Moments like this, I never know if you're joking or serious.
Serious, Geralt, serious. It's remarkably peaceful, subtly charming to the hilt. A perfect match for the Duchess's dignity. Ah, you humans, you'll never cease to amaze me. To feel despair in the face of natural processes to which you are predestined.
Hey, Regis.
I've come to take you from this place, my friend. Dare say you deserve a speck of respite after the mad whirl of the last few days.
Dying is natural. Being murdered isn't. Oh, Regis, you should know. Dettlaff. You should be in similar pain.
All those deaths I failed to prevent. Feel pretty awful right about now. Can't help thinking I could have done more. Now Toussaint's left without a ruler, or more accurately, chaos rules here. Hand in hand with despair. Duchess won over people's hearts. All Beauclair now weeps for her.
A mass outburst of emotion. Well, it seems her subjects have adopted some of their recent ruler's traits.
Whoa.
Why the sarcasm? Thought you liked Donna Henrietta.
I did. And I do truly rue her passing.
Me too.
Then let us drink.
Always seemed to me you were a very complicated creature by nature. Not one to resort to such simple methods like drinking your worries away.
There exist worries for which they're quite simply, it's no other medicine.
Whatever you say about Siana, you gotta admit, she was unbending.
That she was. I do admit it. Though, in her case, it would have been better if she had been a tad more, philosophical, pausing from time to time to reflect on the propriety of her actions.
True.
That's a really nice way to put, why the hell did she never think about anything she did?
How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diavolis variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavour profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
Of course. Of course.
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight makes me, oh, so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce of refinement in you, have you?
We have to see this part because of the Bruxa who attacked Regis. What was that term that Regis used before? The word that started with an A. That's what he'll be committing by killing Dettlaff. Poison. Whoa, I'm retching. Holy gosh. Good thing we have white honey here. Yeah, so it actually is highly toxic and dangerous to us. Sorry, Geralt. It's good for you. Good for euphoria.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire, after all. Damn it, where'd you go?
Except he left footprints, so they made it all the simpler.
Regis!
Oh dear.
Raise your hand against the vampire! You shall die for that!
I did what I had to do!
That Bruxa actually speaks human.
Those Bruxae, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule. An unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink.
Could you imagine if we still had the mask on right now?
Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home. On the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Why not?
Know what? Think I just might. Come on now, don't laugh. Maybe not today or tomorrow. But one day I'll want to see what it's like. To just wake up every day in my own bed.
Oh, stop, please. Sounds so sentimental, my fangs have begun to hurt. Then what? Will you begin writing your memoirs like Dandelion?
Half a century of witchering.
I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do.
Oh no, it's the ending and we left the mandrake root poison on his face. I'm really sorry, Geralt. Well, that was a pretty depressing ending where we failed at our job and pretty much everybody died. Not at all the happy fairy tale that Toussaint promises to be. And I also think it's pretty unsatisfying too, because we never got to talk to Siana and we didn't learn anything about whatever the hell she was doing. So on that front, probably if I look at these three endings, my favorite one, it's still gotta be the prison one, just because it feels like it fits in the Witcher universe so much. But, taking into consideration that this is Geralt's last story, I also think it's okay to have a happier, more wholesome ending. He's been through a lot. You know, he's allowed to have some rest, just like Regis says. Okay, I was holding back a lot on my thoughts on these endings and the story in Blood and Wine overall until we got to the very end here. And now that we're finally here, it doesn't feel this way anymore because by now I've spent about 8 hours just looking at all these ending paths here. But when I got the first ending, my impression of the overall Blood and Wine story was that it's very, very backloaded. Like, it felt like 60 to 70% of the story happened after we stormed the castle with Damien. And no matter which path you take, people like Dettlaff, Siana, Oriana, the Unseen Elder, they all had very, very little screen time until very late into the story, after we stormed the castle. Especially Siana, such a pivotal figure, but we only see her towards the very end here. I feel like this is compounded by how Blood and Wine is a fairly lengthy expansion in comparison to Hearts of Stone, and I think I'm guesstimating we spent at least 30 hours here, but a lot of it was side content. And a lot of the side content was like question mark type of stuff, like the wine wars and hunting down the statue bits for Prophet Lebioda, so on and so forth. So that, and the fact that the main story itself is already backloaded, made it feel really like not much happened for the first 20 hours, and then suddenly bam, 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 and then it all just finished. Like, the primary plot revolves around the murder mystery type thing going on, right? Before the castle, the two pieces of information that we really needed to know was, number one, Dettlaff is the guy behind the murders, and number two, he's being blackmailed. So I do think the pacing is a little bit off, but I do also feel like this is a bit of a nitpick because it's not like I didn't enjoy what I saw anyway, especially because the last few hours, whichever path you took, did have some really good content. The Land of Fables, an entirely new area with new creatures and people. And in the Unseen Elder path, I was actually pretty impressed with the level of lore and world building there because they really didn't have to do any of it. All we really needed to know was that there is a super powerful vampire that can bring other vampires out, and that was it, right? But they went all the way with, how, oh, actually, this cave is right at the boundary between the conjunction of the spheres. And there's weird stuff going on, like with the gravity and water streams flowing upwards and all, which is really, really awesome. At this point, I've been playing this game for like over 200 damn hours, but they're still finding new ways to add to the lore to surprise me, so I'm really pleased about that. Yeah, overall, that's my impression of Blood and Wine, and it's hard to say too much else because I've been playing this game for so long. It's really just upheld this really ridiculously high bar of quality, which is definitely something that I've gotten used to, like, oh, it's the Witcher 3 quality. But if I step back and think about it, that's not the norm. Normally, the longer a game is, the more fluctuating the quality is, I think. And that's understandable because of, budgets and time constraints. I don't know how they do it, but The Witcher 3 defies this measure. I feel very spoiled by it. It's especially crazy to think about all this in the context of The Witcher 1 and 2. Because the jumps, the improvements between each game is massive. Massive, massive. I specifically remember thinking The Witcher 1 I thought it was a very fun game. Like, independently of whatever games came after it, I already thought it was fun. But the story at the time felt like fanfiction. Because they would try to make up new storylines based off pre-existing lore in the book, and in a way that's kind of like obviously referencing it. For example, Alvin being a source, because that's like a Ciri thing, but they didn't want to put Ciri in the game because that's a really big commitment. In comparison to towards the end of Witcher 3 here, where I constantly find myself thinking and saying things like, oh yeah, that's a thing, but I can't remember if that happened in the books or the game, because at this point, they expanded the lore and the world building based off the rules set in the universe created by the books, making it feel like one giant continuity as opposed to just a simple reference. And a really good example of that is, again, the Unseen Elder path. Yes, we know that vampires don't drink blood and there's higher vampires and lower vampires, but I'm pretty sure Unseen Elder, this is a concept created by CD Projekt Red. and it completely just fits into the universe and you don't have to think twice about it. That's something that's consistently happened across the board for all of The Witcher 3. So the whole thing is really quite immersive from that perspective. I've been thinking about this since I was playing through Blood and Wine's endings, but I feel like there's a pretty neat and tidy way to sum up the stories and the themes in all of The Witcher 3. The base game focuses on parental love between Geralt and Ciri. Hearts of Stone focuses on romantic love between Olgierd and Iris. Blood and Wine focuses on sibling or familial love, obviously between Anna, Henrietta, and Siana, but also Dettlaff and Regis. In a universe where there's all types of creatures and monsters, both literal and metaphorical, we're all still tied by the same types of bonds to each other, and that is a beautiful thing. And it's also the source of why we often have these moral situations where we don't know what to choose, because no matter what we choose, we'd be doing somebody dirty. Except for that time back in the base game when they made you choose between killing Horsan Jr. or not, because I really can't think of a reason why you wouldn't want to kill him. But yeah, it's really cheesy, but I think the parts about The Witcher 3 that resonate with me the most are the relationships between people, and sometimes how that can lead to tragedy. Most notably, I think the story between Iris and Olgierd was particularly depressing. If I had to pick my favorite main story, it would probably be Hearts of Stone. It was a smaller expansion, so the content felt a lot tighter and more self-contained. On top of that, both Olgierd and Gondor Dim were really interesting too, so that is probably my favorite expansion if you made me pick, cause really, it's kind of like trying to pick your favorite child as a parent. You might secretly have preference for one over the other, but at the end of the day, they're all your children and they all deserve to be loved equally. Whew, that's a lot of people, right? So now that we've been properly introduced, we'd like to thank you one last time. Blood and Wine is the end of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We wanted to call it Sweat and Tears or Damn We'll Miss This, but we couldn't. However, as a studio, we've already embarked on other adventures. We promise you'll hear about them soon. I feel so fortunate to read this just before Cyberpunk's coming out. And Geralt will always have a special place in our hearts, and we hope he'll have a special place in yours. Oh, of course he does. Thank you for playing, thank you for supporting us, and thank you for spending your hard-earned money on our game. We hope you had fun. Love, CD Projekt Red. Oh, that's a very sweet message, and I will miss Geralt. I will. Alright, we're not done just yet because we're gonna watch the Celebrating the 10th Anniversary of The Witcher video, which is only 2 minutes long, but a lot of you said I should watch this.
Hey, was just reminiscing and realized, damn, been ages since we last saw each other. You know me, got a hard time staying put, though.
Oh!
Regis says I'm getting old. Drops in with herbs for trysts sometimes. Strange species I've never seen. They grab Yennefer, lock themselves in her lab, spend all day brewing. Wouldn't dare interrupt them. Not that I'm complaining. Gives me time to help the guys with their contracts. Although, can't shake the feeling they mainly take jobs nearby. Lambert practically lives here. As I said, find it hard to sit still. Except, things are good here, you know? I'm good. We play Gwent, drink wine, swipe grapes from Henrietta's vineyards the odd moonlit night. Vesemir'd enjoy that especially. Been through hell and high water, you and me. Fact is, you know me better than anyone else does. Actually, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thanks for everything. And know we all miss you, old friend. So, might be my birthday, but I say, here's to you. Now, tell us how you're doing.
Oh my god! Oh, why would you? Oh my god, I can feel the tears welling up in my eyes already. That was basically what I wanted to see at the very end, but like within the story itself, it was really hard for that to happen, especially because they didn't know what choices you would make. But seeing everybody again, both Yennefer and Triss, Zoltan, Eskel, Lambert. Hold on, in fact, why don't we just go back and check it out? We have Ciri, Triss, Yen, Olgierd, Anna Henrietta, Regis, Priscilla, Dandelion, Lambert, Kira, Siana, Eskel. Is that Vess? Oh my god. Croc on Crate, the Godlings, Damien de la Tour, Zoltan, Shani, Olgierd. Did I say Olgierd already? Hey, where's Roach? If Vess is here, where the hell's Roach? Oh, here's Roach. And here's the other Roach. Aww. I really liked how we saw everyone interact with each other in that. Because usually we see people interact with Geralt, but not very often with each other. Especially for Triss, Yennefer, and Ciri. I feel like I would have really liked to see this trio do more. Also really appreciate that they mentioned Vesemir, cause he was an indispensable part of our journey, even though he's no longer with us. Now obviously they made this video for people who have finished playing The Witcher for a while already, and for me that's not the case, right? So I don't really feel like it's set in that I'm done The Witcher now. Like, everything. It's like that feeling I got when I was looking under my mini-map and there was no quest pinned there because we didn't have anything. And it's like, oh, okay, and I don't know how to feel. From... I think it was towards the end of summer or fall of 2017 when I started reading the first Witcher novel. I remember finishing it in like 3 days too. I was so engrossed in it, and from that point on, I knew I wanted to play the games, and I started The Witcher 1 in November of 2017. The Witcher 2. Let me go look it up actually. Started that in March of 2018, and of course The Witcher 3, I started in the summer of the same year, last year. I've played this game series for so long that I can tie certain life events to what game I was playing when the event happened. Some of you might remember that back in The Witcher 1, near the beginning, I briefly mentioned that I was on Invisalign, which is dental braces, and I did that for a while and finished it while I was playing The Witcher 2, I think. Coincidentally enough, I'm doing it again as of last week, because it moved a little bit, and if I do it within 5 years, I don't have to pay extra. And then back in The Witcher 3, in the beginning, I had a lot of technical problems. Never figured out what was going on with my PC, but I just ended up buying an entire new computer, pretty much just for playing The Witcher. So a lot of little things here and there that I can remember tied to this game. And now that I'm done, oh, I'm really gonna miss this. I really am. But our old friend Geralt has been on the move for a very, very long time now, and he definitely deserves some rest. And maybe that's a statement that applies to myself too, because it's been a long time. I love the Witcher series, but having recorded it as a YouTube thing, I'm not gonna tell you it was all rainbows and cupcakes, cause there were ups and downs, but undoubtedly by the end here, it's something I'm happy to have done, it's something I'm proud to have done, and I want to thank everybody who has joined me on this series, whether you started joining me with The Witcher 1, 2, or 3, or Hearts of Stone, Blood and Wine, or maybe you just clicked on this video randomly. Whether you've left encouraging comments or were silently watching the whole time, everybody. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters in particular, because they were the ones who really encouraged me to commit to this from the beginning. With that said, this was Wellens with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I I really hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed playing it, and I hope to see you all in another place, in another time. Bye!